So now we're going to take a look at this rock step with our close embrace. But before we do, we're going to add one more concept to the table. And it is the thought that we have positive and negative sides. I'm always joking. I'm like, isn't it the truth, right? It just depends on the day. No, but seriously, what we want to think of is as I am here, I don't want to really dance in this squared flat position when we're enclosed. What I'm looking for is that my right side of the body will move slightly forward, or like we like to say, positive. Now, in doing that, my left side will naturally reflect the negative side being pulled back. If I do it vice versa, my left side can move positive and my right side will actually pull back slightly. So again, if we're focusing on positive, the negative will happen. If I think of negative, the positive will happen. Those two things are intertwined. So some people like to think of it positive and some people think of it negative. But since we love to be positive, we are going to actually think of it from the positive side. Now, last thought on it, anytime we are discussing sides, the word sides, right? Not as big of a description point as I usually like. I want you to think it's not really the sides of the body doing these big angles. It's actually too much, especially when we're coupled up with somebody else and we're trying to intertwine the actions. What we are looking for, though, is I like to call it the suspender lines. So if I were wearing a pair of suspenders, it's this inner line that's actually moving slightly forward and slightly back. So you want to think about it as collarbone, floating ribs, and then the hip flexors. That's kind of our alignment. So you'll notice that if I'm standing here, the proper positive, let's say, would be just kind of that clavicle line rotating. That's all that I really need to be positive one direction or the other. What we don't want to do is actually go into the sides of the body where we're doing really dramatic amounts of rotation. So now you're like, all right, wow, that's all this information. How do we apply it? Well, now that we are going to be in body contact, what we're looking for is that the right side of my leader is positive towards me, and the right side as a follower is now positive towards my leader. So now as we get into our close embrace, you're going to see this slight angle in the body, which will look different than if we're completely flat and squared up directly at each other. Also, it's kind of awkward with the arm. I don't really fit into that pocket as well. So I'm going to show it to you one more time from this angle. He's right side positive and so am I. So now as we would go about, let's say, doing a basic, you can see that we're maintaining this angle in the body.
So leaders, when we are in that right side positive position with our followers, as we move into this rock step, it is going to encourage us to have a slight curve even on our forward step. And that's okay. It's acceptable. It actually feels more comfortable. So remember, when we were talking about this from the closed position, we said that the rock step should be forward with no rotation. Now, when we move into a close embrace position, although we are right side positive in our closed as well, here, because we are making body contact, a slight curve on that forward step feels most appropriate. So we're going to apply that, but we don't need to apply that in the closed, only when we're in close embrace. So let's look at that. We're now in body contact. I'm right side positive. She's right side positive. So as we move our body, we're going to shift that right side a little slightly more positive, which curves us. So it is rock, step. We'll do it again. Rock, step. So you can see that even on the forward step, we're getting a slight amount of rotation. Now, it's not that much. We don't need to rotate it significantly. It is ever so slight. It is more of a natural curving feel, but it is appropriate to do it when we're in this position. So now we're going to show you the rock step using booms and ticks and also slows and quicks. Here we go. Starting with our booms and ticks, it is boom, tick, boom, tick, boom, tick, boom, tick, boom, tick. And now we'll do it again with slows and quicks. It is slow, slow, quick, quick, slow, slow.